Welcome to today's video, which discusses 9 deadly teas you should never consume. We've all heard that tea may be a relaxing drink with numerous health advantages. But what if I told you that there are some dark secrets hidden deep within these aromatic leaves? That's correct. It's a sobering reality that not all teas are created equal. Some can be more dangerous than you could possibly think. Are you ready for an eye-opening voyage into the world of natural cures and wellness, where we unveil the hidden hazards in certain teas that you should never allow cross your lips? In this video, we delve into the dark side of tea, revealing the 9 deadly teas you should never consume. Stay tuned to find out which teas to avoid. When you grasp the facts necessary to preserve your health, the suspense begins. Now, just a little reminder, the information in this video is meant solely for educational purposes and should not be used as a substitute for professional medical advice. Now, let's look at a list of toxic teas that we should avoid. Starting with number 1, comfortable tea. You know, it's a tea that has been used for centuries for its medicinal properties, but it can also be harmful to your health. Let me clarify. First, comfrey tea contains a chemical known as pine alkaloids, which sounds like a mouthful. But the message here is that these alkaloids are harmful to our liver. The more comfrey tea we drink over time, the more these guys accumulate in the liver. And before we realize it, we're in the danger zone, risking liver poisoning. And that is not all. These molecules can even transform into hazardous metabolites, thereby increasing the risk of liver cancers. Scary, isn't it? Recent research has supported these worries. A study published in the Journal of Hepatology in 2018 found that these PNE alkaloids caused severe liver damage. Another elementary pharmacology and therapeutics study published in 2020 found similar results. The second option is lobelia tea. This tea, derived from the lobelia plant, has long been used in traditional medicine, mostly for respiratory disorders. But don't rush to start a pot just yet. Research includes a research published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology. According to a 2010 study, lobelia includes numerous chemicals that can have an impact on the health of our hearts. It mostly contains a chemical known as lobeline. This little guy functions as a stimulant for our cardiovascular system, but the narrative thickens. Other alkaloids in the combination include iso, bein, and loodine, which all have comparable effects. So, what exactly do these clever molecules do? They affect specific receptors in our bodies, which can cause changes in our heart rate and blood pressure. You may imagine that this is not good news for our cardiovascular system, especially if you have prior heart issues. Drinking this tea in big quantities could amplify these effects, potentially leading to seizures. Chaparral tea comes in at number 3. I recently came upon an article from the journal Toxicology and Applied Pharmacology, dated 2018. It claims that chaparral tea, brewed from the leaves of the chaparral plant, or Laurea trita, includes a chemical known as Norday hydrotic acid, or NDGA, which has generated some concerns in the scientific community due to its potential negative effects on the liver and kidneys. This is not the only chemical we should be concerned about. The researchers also highlighted flavonoids found in plants such as 3-corn, 4-dihydroxy, alpha, gamma, dimethyl, altranschaconne, and lentin, which can cause oxidative stress and injury to cells. Scary stuff, right? So, what occurs when you drink chaparral tea on a daily basis? These substances begin to work, interfering with your kidney and liver functions. They can produce hazardous compounds that your body cannot always deal with. This is not a trivial annoyance. It could result in serious health problems that none of us want to cope with. So, as much as you might appreciate a nice cup of chaparral tea, it may be best to replace it with something less harmful to your health. Next is number 4, German or tea. Did you realize that German or tea, while historically popular for its alleged weight loss benefits, is a no-go presently? Here are the sciencey bits. German Dur contains several chemicals, including neochloroterpenoids, which have been linked to toxicity. Don't simply take my word for it. According to a 1992 research published in the Annals of Internal Medicine, ingesting der tea caused severe hepatitis due to its poisonous nature. There is even a phrase for it: German Mander hepatitis. Pretty serious, right? However, the liver is not the only organ at risk. It turns out that this tea could also affect your heart. According to the Journal of Natural Products 2010, it contains chemicals such as ferron, neochloro, dane, and terpenoids, which can have cardiotoxic effects. Wait, there is more. Der also contains tannins, which, while occasionally beneficial in tiny doses, can be detrimental if ingested in excess. According to the Journal of Ethnopharmacology 2018, a high consumption of tannins may cause stomach distress, kidney damage, and possibly an increased risk of some cancers. So, the next time someone offers you a cup of German or tea, consider a safer option such as chamomile or green tea. Next. Number 5. Sassafras tea. You know, sassafras tea has a distinct and appealing flavor that many people appreciate. But there is a hidden hazard in that cup that you should be aware of. The major component of sassafras, known as saf, has been linked to liver cancer. It's very interesting how it works. Saf is a carcinogenic substance, which means it has the potential to trigger cell alterations that lead to cancer. Now, let me tell you about some interesting research that came out. A study, published in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute in 2016, found evidence that saf can cause liver cancers in mice. This has alarmed many individuals. Not to mention that the Food and Drug Administration of the United States has banned saf as a food ingredient due to probable health hazards. But saffron isn't the only issue with saffras tea. The tea also includes Eros chemicals. A study published in the Journal of Toxicology and Environmental Health in 2018 found that excessive dosages of AONA may also offer a cancer risk. 6th scent royal tea. Pennyroyal tea, prepared from the leaves of the pennyroyal plant, has a long history of use as a folk cure. But despite this, it can be highly hazardous. It contains a chemical called pagone, which, in high amounts, can be harmful to both the liver and the lungs. According to a study published in Human and Experimental Toxicology in 2012, the chemical pagone is converted in our systems into another hazardous substance known as ferrin. What's troubling is that these two substances aren't only harmful, they can also impair the body's ability to repair the harm they inflict, creating a sort of double whammy impact. Alpha-pinene is another worrisome chemical discovered in pennyroyal tea. While this molecule is normally safe in tiny levels, the Journal of Toxicology and Environmental Health 2013 warns that larger concentrations of alpha-pinene can induce renal impairment. On top of this, pennyroyal tea is thought to accelerate menstruation and has been used in the past to induce abortions, demonstrating its intense and sometimes deadly physiological effects. So, while enjoying a cup of tea seems delightfully soothing with pennyroyal tea, that cup may pose some major health hazards. Bitter orange tea is up next. At number 7, there is bitter orange tea on the surface. It's a warm and calming cup of bliss that is frequently praised for promoting weight loss and digestion. Let's go further, shall we? The thing is, bitter orange tea contains crine, a chemical that acts as a stimulant in our systems. But here's the kicker. Crine can be taxing for our cardiovascular system. According to a research published in the Journal of Clinical Pharmacology in 2012, excessive doses of this chemical can cause an increase in heart rate and blood pressure. That doesn't sound like a drink we'd want to curl up with, does it? And the troublesome components don't stop with rine. Bitter orange also contains N-methyltyramine, denine, opine, and tyramine. These aims are comparable to those present in EFI, which the FDA prohibited in 2004. They exert their effects via a series of intricate metabolic events that excite cardiac receptors. Eventually, this leads to higher cardiac output and blood pressure. A recent 2018 study, published in the Current Therapeutic Research Journal, warns about the possibility of cardiovascular problems linked to the tea. So, while it may be tempting to go for that weight loss jog or digestion aid miracle, I urge looking at safer alternatives. Ephedra tea comes in at number 8. Ephedra, also known as ong, has been used for centuries in traditional Chinese medicine to treat conditions such as asthma and allergies. However, contemporary research has identified potential hazards associated with its intake. The primary active chemicals in ephedra are rhine and pseudoephedrine, which activate the central nervous system and the heart, affecting blood pressure and heart rate. In a study published in the American Journal of Medicine in 2005, researchers discovered that ingesting ephedra could cause significant increases in heart rate and blood pressure. Even more concerning, excessive doses or long-term use may cause heart attacks, strokes, and seizures. These stimulant effects are magnified when ephedra is mixed with other stimulants, such as coffee, resulting in a cocktail that can place a strain on the heart. Furthermore, a 2019 study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology discovered that ephedra contains additional chemicals such as methylephedrine and norsuprine, which are known to contribute to overall toxicity. So, while ephedra may have been an age-old treatment for certain illnesses, today, science advises that we approach it. Caution. Kombucha is up next. At number 9. Kombucha is a fermented tea, created by combining tea, sugar, and occasionally fruit, juice, or other flavors with a bacteria and yeast culture. While fermentation produces some useful substances, such as probiotics and antioxidants, it also has some potentially hazardous side effects. The procedure may also produce hazardous compounds such as alcohol, mold, and germs. For example, research in the Journal of General Internal Medicine in 2019 reported cases in which homemade kombucha caused lactic acidosis, a hazardous buildup of lactic acid in the body. This occurs because the fermentation process can occasionally go wrong, resulting in hazardous quantities of lactic acid. It is also vital to realize that fermented foods, like kombucha, naturally produce a little quantity of alcohol. This can be problematic for some people, particularly those who are sensitive to alcohol, pregnant women, or those who have weakened immune systems. Finally, inappropriate preparation and storage, such as non-sterile brewing conditions, can result in contamination with harmful bacteria, potentially leading to foodborne sickness. I don't mean to turn you off kombucha completely. It can still be a healthy drink if prepared appropriately and consumed in moderation, but it is important to be aware of some of these potential hazards. Well, tea lovers, we've come to the end of this thrilling adventure through the worlds of delectable tea. Was there a brewing revelation? So, the next time you grab for a steeper hot brew, remember this: not all teas are sipped equally. Now you have the ability to steer clear of brew, possibly dangerous infusions, and focus on what is best for your health. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful voyage, where information promotes wellness. As usual, your health comes first. So continue your research, consult with healthcare professionals, and continue to make informed, healthy decisions. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support lifts our spirits. Please let us know in the comments below. If you have any great ideas for future videos, please let us know. Stay safe, stay well, and remember, there's always a tea time someplace.